So I really wanted to get this one because it's an athlete that we had for a few years. We had quite a bit of information on, and I was able to assess. And what I'm going to show you here is with the ankle motion. So this athlete does a lot of good things, or a lot of things really well. And what's important to note, though, as we look at this, is typically I would look at the front knee. This is one of the areas that we look at and say, okay, at load bearing foot plant, meaning there's weight into that front foot. Once the athlete begins to rotate, so go in this direction, does that lead leg and that knee in the red circle stay put, or does it move backwards? Either one's fine. It'd be great if it would move backwards, but we'll see in this one. Into release, the knee is going forward and it goes outside of the circle. So that would be a flag, but without knowing anything about the athlete, I would have a hard time telling the athlete that this is a problem or this is how it needs to be fixed or anything like that. So with this athlete, we knew that there was a history of knee pain for multiple years, which is super common with youth athletes, unfortunately. And with that said, I don't want to be telling the athlete all these negative bad things when it could be a knee issue. They could be babying their knee. They could have over time tried to find movement that was good enough for them or that felt good for them and didn't cause them pain. So if I give them things and it puts them in pain, I don't want that. I don't ever want that. So we're going to find things that are within their range of motion or their comfort level. And once they are good with that, then we can progress from there. So this athlete is actually counter rotating, as we call it. So the shoulders are counter rotated back that way. The hips are rotated back that way. So that's good. What you counter rotate or what you rotate backward tends to unravel and rotate the other direction. So that's good. Because he rotates pretty well, he is able to, as you can see, rotate off in that direction. And he continues rotating. Obviously, that front foot does some swivel, but that's after the ball is already out of there. So what I want to look at with this back ankle, though, is you'll notice part of the reason that he's probably continuing to go forward in that front knee is because of not that he's rotating or not rotating, it's that he's got still a little bit of a linear component, which means he's going in a straight line with his back foot and leg. And you'll see that because right here, I'll make it a nicer color. You'll notice the heel comes off the ground right there and then rolls over. Now, everyone's foot will roll over at some point, but you'll notice that guys with adequate ankle mobility and with good movement through their lower half, they will not extend like this. You can see there's a bend in the toe, the big toe area right there. Those toes kind of bend. There's a bit of a pushing off motion going there like that. So that heel rolls right over in that direction. So the heel is just doing that, rolling over like that. As opposed to over here, we're going to see with this athlete. And you'll notice at what point this happens. So let's look at this player's kneecap. Oops. When the knee starts to rotate or go in this direction, and then rotate in, so right there, the knee starts to go downward, and this bone right here starts to rotate down, so right there, that's when that heel comes up. Over here, same thing with this athlete, as the knee starts to go in, right here. This athlete on the left, his heel comes up. This athlete on the right, the heel stays in the ground. So that's some ankle mobility right there going on, and that's also being a little less linear. So this athlete on the right, we'll make it green now, is demonstrating adequate ankle mobility, and you can even see there. So that's kind of a dead giveaway too, is that if you just look at how the foot is oriented here as opposed to here, and those are two different directions. A little bit exaggerated on the left there, but you get the idea. So there's a pushing off component right here, which then sends the player in this direction in addition to the rotation. But that last little bit of linear or straight line rotation, moving in a straight line, pushes the player's knee forward toward the end there. So that little bit. So where it was right there, it continues to go forward afterward. So getting a little bit more of this type of ankle range of motion can help that athlete right here as they roll over. And there's some other drills and some feel as well, but that is that one.